You have just tuned in to part of the series, How to Get Paid to Become You. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the 3 polarities which sabotage success. Now, in order to explain what those polarities are, you need to understand what I mean by polar. And that is the law of polarity, which is in our 3D, in our dimension. And that is, there is an opposite to everything. And in fact, we perceive of it as different. And what I'm here to tell you is everything is a wave. And so it's not opposite as in different, it is just somewhere on the spectrum of what the topic is. So a good way to think about this is temperature. Hot is not the opposite of cold. They are the same thing. They're just varying degrees of that. Happiness and sadness, they are not the opposite of each other. They are merely the same thing in varying degrees. So, when I say there are 3 polarities that sabotage your success, in the same breath, you can use the other end of that polar for success. And so this is very much a cup half full versus half empty type of framing. This is very much a coming from a standpoint of empowerment versus victimhood. This is very much about becoming conscious of your choices. Now with the wave, right, we have the wave. Everything is energy and information, and that means everything is a wave. There are 2 ends to the wave, correct? And so the 3 polarities or waves which can sabotage your success are as follows. The first one is magnetism. I did an entire 2-hour workshop, which I may include the link on here for you all, because I love you so much, about the keys to magnetize your tribe. And it has to do with this polarity, and that is magnetism. We are asking vibrationally. We are in an inclusive universe. There is no, there is only what we focus upon. What we focus and energize becomes us, will come to us. And so magnetism is one such wave where if you are in the victim end of the wave, where you feel like everything's happening to you versus you are co-creating, right? Co-creators up here, victimhood is down here. Where are you on the spectrum? And is this polarity sabotaging yourself, your success, your best version of you? It's a personal question, and it can vary day to day. It is just one of the 3 polarities that can sabotage success, but that if you master, can really turn into a superpower and an asset. So magnetism, there are 2 ends of it. Conscious magnetism, that is where you are consciously aware of the thoughts and emotional patterns that you are weaving into your grid and commanding to you through the law of attraction, the law of resonance. And within magnetism, there is also an end that is empowered, right? You are commanding consciously. You are thoughtfully thinking and feeling, versus the victim side of that wave of magnetism that is unconscious, oblivious to what it is you're focusing on, unaware that you are thinking thoughts that don't serve you, etc. And so again, magnetism is one of the 3 polarities which can sabotage your success. Before we move to the second one, I want to give you some tips on conscious magnetism to help you through this polarity so that you are focused on the end that you want versus the end that you don't want. And that is really to begin to master your focus. So to leverage magnetism, consciousness is required, right? Conscious choosing of your focus. It really, at this point, becomes not a matter of who is right or wrong, what is, it's basically just what is wanted and what is unwanted, right? And you can begin to drop your victim mode where you are arguing for your limitations, right? A lot of people, if they don't like the way their life is turning out, they feel like it's better to just pretend, because in their heart of hearts they know that this universal law is real. They just want to pretend that things are happening to them, right? I would have never chosen this life. I would have never chosen this failure. I would have never chosen this pain. I have nothing to do with it. So they wash their hands of that, and in doing so, they give away their power. So they're still conscious. They are still co-creating. They're just doing so unconsciously and from a place of disempowerment versus power. And so again, on this spectrum, right, up here is conscious magnetism. Here is victimhood, unconscious co-creation, where we focus in on our pain and we justify where we've been and why we feel this way and who's to blame and who's at fault. And, you know, it's very much an external giving away of your power versus not condemning yourself, right? Shame is one of the lowest vibrations. We don't want to loop into that polarity, but just to empower yourself and be aware that what you energize comes to you and that what you focus on becomes. And so again, conscious magnetism is about mastering your focus and also allowing. And so to talk about allowing very briefly, when we have a desire, as humans, we focus on the not having because it's not here yet, right? We want something, it's not here. I want this, but it's not here. If I wanted it and was here, I wouldn't want it, you know, that desire wouldn't be there, I would have achieved it. So we are in a constant, perpetual state of becoming, and we will never stop launching our desires. And so it becomes, how can we allow the things that we desire to come to us? Because what often happens is we hold ourselves apart from that due to our focus on the not having. We aren't a match, and we're magnetizing the not having through focus of why isn't it here? Why hasn't it changed? Why isn't this working? Etc. And you'll know when this is going that way by how you feel. When you are aligned with optimism, joy, fun, creativity, freedom, all of the things that make you feel good, you are moving in alignment. You are allowing that which is yours to come to you. Remember, when you desire, it is so. Ask and you shall receive. It's already there. It's a vibrational reality. All you need to do to experience it is to align with that reality, and it will be so. And you can't do that when you're focused on the not having. You become discordant to what it is you desire, and it causes pain because your higher self already knows that this reality exists. It is there, and you're holding yourself apart from it. So allowing is the other part of conscious magnetism, which when you can master, you can really put that polarity of sabotage to bed and use the polarity of magnetism as a superpower. All right, guys, the second polarity that sabotages success is knowledge. Knowledge. Now let's talk about this. Again, it's two ends of a wave. On one end, you have the misconception that some people have is that they know it all. They know it all. I know it all. I'm not open to learning anything new because I know it all. Right? Okay, so that's one end. The other end is I know nothing. I'm not confident at all. I'm not worthy. I don't get it. I'm I can't focus, I'm not smart, I'm not, fill in the blank. Anything that you're lacking, that you've labeled yourself as not good enough, that is a other end of the wave with this. With knowledge meaning I have it all, I've got it all figured out, and lack of knowledge, feeling that you're flawed in some way due to falling short of knowledge in some way. And so that polarity really can sabotage your success as an entrepreneur, because both ends, right? If you feel like you have all the answers, then you're not going to be open to growth. You're not going to be open to exploration into pushing past your comfort zone, the zone that is known to you, familiarity, what you know, right? You've got to get past that into the unknown to be experiencing newness and to begin to have access to new timeline potentials of growth and expansion. It's called evolution. And the other end of that polarity is I know nothing. Again, it's a place of disempowerment, of not being good enough, not being worthy enough, not being ready. And knowledge in this way can be a struggle, right? Either way. And so the solution to master this polarity so that you can stop the sabotage and use this again as a superpower, it's all in the way you look at it. Is it a flaw or is it a power, right? That's the polarity as well that we're dealing with. You want to empower yourself. And so with the knowledge polarity, figuring out how to flow with the path of least resistance through being open to knowledge and grid systems that are going to empower you to achieve your goals. You don't have all the answers. I know all the spiritual gurus say, you have all the answers, look within. Yeah, you do. You do have all those answers. But do those answers tell you how to execute a marketing plan that's going to fill your bank account? No. That's not something you're just born with knowing, right? There's a psychology to it. And in leveraging other people's knowledge and wisdom, you can cease the struggle of, I've got to figure this out on my own, and I've got to, learn the hard way, if you will. And you can go straight into the ease of going, oh wow, this is a template that really works. This is a way that I can align with and allow my goals to come to me. And guys, it's only smart. That is using the end of knowledge that's going to help you expand. Using your resources, right? This is called resourcefulness. What resources do you have available that are going to allow you to free up your energy so that you can move forward where you want to be without having to toil away in all of the details and knowledge and frustration that comes with feeling like you don't know, or the frustration of trying to convince yourself you do know, but it's not working, right? So with the knowledge polarity, I recommend hiring a coach. Hiring a coach. Hire me. Hire someone else that you feel comfortable with. Whomever you want to leverage their expertise. They've been there before. They've got systems in place. And if they do a good job of communicating to you how you can use them, it will streamline your process, and the investment will be well worth getting the shortcut, right? Again, think of money as a unit of energy. You give this energy, you receive this back. And so if you are to think about all the energy you would have to expend when you are trying to figure things out on your own versus the ease you would gain and the shortcut and the lighted path, right? So this is what I'm talking about with knowledge. So hire a coach. And I would recommend that they're also spiritual, because again, you are not a saleswoman, right? You're not trying to convince anyone to buy anything. You are a transformation catalyst that your entire purpose is to improve the lives of others. And so you don't want to hire someone who is all about, sales. It's got to be about transformation. It's got to be about value. It's got to be about being authentic within what it is you desire. And guys, you've all chosen your path based on how it fulfills you, the purpose it gives to your life, the joy you attain through assisting others in the transformation that you have chosen. Now, if you can't figure out yet what that is, the next part I'll assist you with that in a minute, because it is part of the how to get paid to become you process, which I'm going to explain in another video. You know it all, you don't know anything. How can you balance that polarity so it stops sabotaging you? Hire a coach that is also aligned with your authentic self, your goals, and the intention behind your medicine. The third and final polarity that sabotages success is shadow. Shadow. What the heck is shadow? Essentially, it is blocks and baggage. This is the side of us that we've labeled as bad, wrong, not good enough. These are programs and judgments that we've inherited, that we've formed through societal norms, that we have experienced firsthand. So basically, your shadow is anything that you have judged and condemned, right? You see that this, being this way gets you love, so anything that doesn't is labeled as bad, and you suppress it, you push it to your shadow side, you make it wrong, right? We do this as humans. It's part of the ego. It's part of your identity. It's part of your personality, right? Who do you want to be perceived as? And how does that align with those judgments you've made along your lifetime? They become your programs. They become your default responses to circumstance, to situations, to people, to events. And again, it is very much singularity. It is, this is me, this is you. It's very much ego driven. And so it can sabotage your success because these programs and judgments that you've made are often, and that you've abandoned and made wrong, and that are in your shadow that you're not allowing to work through, are still magnetizing, right? It's part of you. And so you're fragmenting yourself, right? You're not allowing the wholeness of who you are and the depth of your experiences to see the light. And so, unfortunately, these shadow things come up over and over and over again. Why? Because you require integration. You require wholeness. You require to see past those judgments of separation which you have projected out into your reality and made either good or bad, right or wrong. So polarities, the third polarity to sabotage your success is shadow. And what I mean by that is simply blocks and baggage. One of the most common blocks and baggage that entrepreneurs have, especially spiritual coaches, is money, abundance. Because why? We've been told and believe on some level that we shouldn't receive monetary compensation in exchange for our gifts, because we'd be doing it for free anyway. We don't see it as a commodity, right? We're not selling houses or pharmaceuticals or a weight loss plan. We are selling transformations. And since that is a more spiritual progression, unfortunately, people have labeled it as, this should be free, which you should absolutely want to do it so much that you would do it for free, because that's the key, guys. If you can find something you enjoy so much that you would do it anyway, even if you didn't receive, that means you won't feel like you're working. It's your joy, it's your passion. It's what I do. I channel assisting frequencies, and the Anahata Codes is my passion. And I do give it for free. anahatacodes.com, the entire modality is free. Why? Because it is my passion. I want people to use it to transform their lives. Now, of course, we live in a material world. Things are things. We have a unit of energy exchange called money, and a lot of us have a lot of blocks to abundance because of those programs we've been playing through inherited energies, epigenetics, societal norms, our own ego. You know, there's a combination of reasons why we feel the way we feel about money and success and your magnificence, your worthiness, your importance, if you're good enough, etc. And so the polarity of shadow, blocks and baggage, can sabotage your success. Now let's talk about how to overcome that. And what I recommend is defragmentation, calling forth. I recommend shadow integration, okay? Feeling into, and I actually have a very effective process that I teach my mastery students. Guys, I will be explaining more about my Vishana Mastery program. It's a 6-month program, 6 different topics. And we go through shadow integration and block removal for an entire month, surrounding undoing and reclaiming and defragmenting and rewiring your responses to money, abundance, magnificence, leadership, power, respect, confidence, all these things that somehow we've been made to feel wrong or bad for. And so we also go into magnetism for an entire month. So mastery of focus, of allowance, and gridding your business for success energetically, mind, body, and soul. Anyway, just a side note. And then of course I am a coach. I'm a transformation catalyst. I'm teaching you this information now. I'm giving you the grid systems from which to flow your medicine to reach people, to discover, develop, distill, and deploy that which you came here to serve to the world. So again, I do hold the key as your Sherpa to all these 3 polarities which can sabotage your success. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about how you can go to the next steps with me, including booking a strategy session for 2019 and beyond in a little bit. So those are the 3 polarities that sabotage success. I hope that this was helpful for you. There is a lot of information in this video. Go back, play it again, really comprehend what I'm saying to you on each level, because if you can master the polarity and energize the end that is progress versus unconsciously allowing these self-sabotaging behaviors to take you away from where you want to be, you are really going to gain some awesome momentum this year, and you're going to be centered in your truth, your confidence, your ability, your magnetism, and you're going to be able to then assist others in ways that you can't imagine right now. Maybe you can't imagine, but you'll align with that reality in newer ways. All right, guys. God bless you on your path to wholeness. Holy cow, that's really cool. There's a flock of egrets at the very top of this pine tree. And there's like, boy, I don't know, 20 of them. I'm going to look up the medicine for egrets, and I'll also take a quick video of them for you and put this in the notes of this video, because as I teach my students, totem animals is one of the categories in assisting frequencies. Guys, and if you know nothing about Anahata codes, just wait until you can understand what this is, because literally it allows you to tap into the essence of anything from the quantum domain, meaning the components that make that thing, in order for that thing to be your superpower, because you're already connected to it. And so again, part of your magnetism is remembering that you're already connected to everything, and then simply allowing that to become. It's really cool when totem animals show up, you know, in big ways, which I'm going to show you right now because that's a big way. And then you look up the medicine of the totem and it supports you, and then you install the code and it allows you to activate it. This resonance remembrance happens. Also, coming into this video was a frog. A frog was on my chair, so I'm going to look the frog up as well. There was a spider, which I love as a totem. He went around. And lastly, a lizard. So we have egret, spider, lizard, and frog, all woven in this particular message, bringing their powers to us as an offering. And we can install those codes to really vibe on this message. Oh, and then there was a butterfly that went across at the beginning. So anyway, you can tell I love totem animal medicine. All right, guys, God bless you on your path. Thank you for tuning in. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hello. We are here looking at these egrets in this beautiful pine tree. They came as we were wrapping up our video, and I wanted to share them with you because I rarely see them up in a tree. They're usually on the ground, so it's pretty cool. I will put the medicine so we can see what they have to say in support of the 3 polarities which sabotage success. Okay, very cool. So pretty. It looks like ornaments on a Christmas tree, huh? Or snow. Ah, beautiful. All right, guys. Bye-bye.